You remember what happened last time, Shell?
Let's see. We talked with Lotta and finally convinced Edgeworth that we're going to be his defense attorney. But Lotta's like, "Oh, well, I'm going to be a witness." And she proceeds to leave, and we can't question her further. And now she suddenly says that she's witnessed the murder, you know? So
She sounds reliable.
who knows? But we also found out that Edgeworth's father was the one who was murdered.
Victim of D6, yeah.
Yeah, he was the one that was murdered. And that a defense attorney, oddly enough, the man that was murdered over the lake was the defense attorney that exonerated the murderer that killed his father. And that's why Edgeworth, who had always aspired to be defense attorney like his own father, switched sides, and he wanted to be a prosecutor.
Yep.
So that he'd be able to potentially convict. I don't know if he... Actually, you can't be tried for murder twice unless there's... Is there... I don't know. There has to be some kind of stipulation.
It's called double jeopardy normally, but this is also like weird monkey court time, so...
Yeah, he might be able to find a way to still try the murderer that killed his father.
Or they try him for the murder of the new guy.
Yeah, and also, like, as another layer onto it, yeah, Mia and Maya's mother was the medium that tried to talk with his father's spirit.
Okay.
It's interesting. That's the recap.
Yep. Okay. Karma? That's right. Manfred von Karma. He's the best prosecutor there is. Hasn't lost a case in his 40-year career. As god of prosecution, right? A god!
Not a single case?
He'll do anything to get a guilty verdict. Anything. Huh. Sounds like someone else I know, Edgeworth. You don't understand. I mean, he'll really do anything. Manfred von Karma is a man to be feared. That's quite a claim coming from someone who forges evidence. He taught me what it really means to He taught me what it really means to prosecute. What? Just picture a prosecutor as vicious as me, multiplied by a factor of 10.
So was he your teacher then, Mr. Edgeworth?
Something like that.
And now he's trying to get you found guilty? What a creep. Oh, wait. Maybe he's planning on losing on purpose to help you out.
Not a chance. He hasn't lost once in 40 years. 40 years! He's as ruthless as me times 20.
That's pretty ruthless.
Like I said, he's a god among prosecutors. I guess that's something like Mia was to me. Speaking of Mia, Maya?
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
We could really be using Mia's help right now, don't you think?
Oh.
Huh?
I can't. Sorry, I tried. I really tried, but I couldn't reach.
You couldn't reach?
I think it's because I haven't been training. My powers are weak again. Oh, man. Oh, that's you.
Oh, man. What bad timing.
I'm really sorry. I'll try my best.
I hope so. What are you whispering about? It's, nothing. Well, it's time. Let's head in. You know, in almost all of these, we rarely ever actually question the defendant. Have you noticed? Like, we kind of...
Oh, yeah, we've never actually, with Powers, we never asked his side of the story.
Yeah.
Well, he just said that he was sleeping, so he was oblivious.
He didn't have one. We did question Butts. Did we question Maya that much? I don't think we did. I don't think she went on the stand.
Maya was never brought to the stand.
Huh. Just other witnesses. Interesting. December 26th, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom number 3. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Miles Edgeworth. The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Oh, man.
Nope, that doesn't work.
What kind of voice are you going to use for him?
Mr. Von Karma, is the prosecution ready?
Can you actually put on a kind of Transylvanian accent?
I want to suck your blood. I don't know, this is the best I'm gonna get. Ooh. You seriously think that I would not stand here were I not completely prepared? Right! My apologies! You even got the judge scared. Very well, your opening statement, please.
Actually, what is Von and Von from? Like, what country of origin?
I don't know. Decisive evidence. A decisive witness. What else could possibly be required? Nothing, of course. That should be fine. The prosecution may call its first witness.
What's with this guy? Is he royalty or something?
How am I supposed to fight against this? I call the detective in charge of the case. Detective Dick Gumshoe. Okay, Gumshoe's first. Let's see how this goes. Describe the incident, now. Yes, sir. Detective Gumshoe looks nervous. Please, take a look at the map. The murder happened late last Christmas Eve, around midnight. There's one boat in the very middle of the lake. There are two men on the boat. Now, there happened to be a woman camping here on the edge of the lake. At 12:10 a.m., she heard two pistol shots. Then the boat started to move. It went towards the boat rental shop. Testify to the court about the arrest, now. Wait! Mr. Von Karma! Yes. Actually, I'm the one that's supposed to be handling these proceedings.
Oh, he's doing the pointing too.
Wrong! There's only one thing you need to do here. You will slam down your gavel and say the word guilty. That is your role. Yes, of course, you're quite right. No, he's not.
Dutch. Yeah.
Okay. So, oh, wait, this is new. A man called into the station around 30 minutes after midnight. We headed to the scene of the crime as fast as we could. That's where we found Mr. Edgeworth. Now, I didn't suspect him of anything at all, but the next morning a body was found in the lake. So we had to arrest Mr. Edgeworth.
So, who was the man that called then?
Suspicious party. Or Edgeworth, because he's such a Boy Scout. Well, except for he's not. He forges evidence, so I don't know.
But you would have thought that Gumshoe would have said that it was Edgeworth that called. You know? It was someone else that called in. And Edgeworth didn't seem aware of the body at the lake. That doesn't sound right.
No, I think Edgeworth was just in shock.
Yeah, he probably was.
I see. Very well. Begin your cross-examination, attorney. Now.
Cross-examination.
Okay.
Yeah, what man?
Press. You received a call from a man. Yep. But you said there was a woman camping there. She was the one who heard the two gunshots, right?
Oh, did you hear that? Helm's objection.
That woman and the man who called in the report are two different people, obviously. Different people. There were two witnesses. Yeah. Their testimonies were quite similar, however. They have summoned the woman who was camping. The woman who was camping, Lotta Hart. What happened next, detective? We headed to the scene of the crime as fast as we could. That's where we found Mr. Edgeworth. Now, I didn't suspect him of anything at all.
Wait. This is all the same.
Right. Yeah,
you have
sorry.
to go back. So, okay, when did they head to the scene of the crime?
How long was it between receiving the report and your arrival at the lake? Well, I'd say it was about 3 minutes. That's pretty fast. Our motto for the month is get there quick. Detective, you will refrain from casually revealing department secrets. Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. I look forward to your next year's salary review. So much to look forward to these days. This is no time for dejected daydreaming. Continue. Yes, sir. What was Mr. Edgeworth like when you saw him then? Well, from what I saw, he looked pretty relaxed. Not like a murder at all, really. Detective, the court requires the facts, not your opinion. How many years have you been on the force? Facts only, detective. Hard, cold, objective facts. Yes, sir. Man, he's got his share of objections. Why didn't you think he was suspicious? You should know. We have a deep, trusting relationship with the prosecutors. Detective, the court isn't interested in your musings. Deep, trusting, poppycock. I've never heard so many flippant comments from an active detective on the force. Detective Gumshoe doesn't look good. Continue, now! But the next morning, a body was found in the lake. And did you find any clues on the body? A single bullet was recovered from the body. He was shot through the heart, fatally. Judge, here is the bullet. It didn't strike bone, so its shape is well preserved. Very well, the court accepts this bullet into evidence. Why wasn't that there already? Oh well.
It was from a 22?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is a rifle, not a pistol, generally. Yeah, a 22 is a hunting rifle.
Yeah, because a 22, isn't the gauge dependent on the size? So, like,
I think it's
the lower
22 millimeters or something like that.
I don't know.
I don't know enough about guns to call that truly into suspect.
Because I've heard of, like, 21.
Because I've
34.
only ever fired one gun in my life repeatedly, and it was a 22. And they're usually, as far as I know, it's rifle class. All right.
Well,
whatever.
The thing is, if it was shot from afar, then you would need a rifle, I would assume.
Yeah.
Oh, a 22 is tiny, people are saying.
Why is that? Well, we found the murder weapon in the boat. The murder weapon? The pistol. Detective Gumshoe. That is a vital piece of information. Please revise your testimony. Right. Sorry, Your Honor. You can get 22 for pistols and rifles, okay. The murder weapon we found in the boat was decisive evidence. What about the pistol made it decisive evidence? It's the same evil laugh as Edgeworth. There are fingerprints on the pistol found in the boat. They are clear fingerprints from Mr. Edgeworth's hand. What?
Well, is there any residue on it? Did they find
Order.
residue on him?
Order! So Mr. Edgeworth's fingerprints were found on the murder weapon. Yes, Your Honor. Judge, this is the weapon in question. Accepted into evidence. Oh yeah, 22 caliber.
It's a 22 caliber.
Fired 3 times.
Wait. How can they determine that recently unless it's just empty casing?
3 rounds missing.
3 rounds missing.
Yeah.
But who's to say that it was ever fully loaded? If it's yeah, I don't know.
Members of the court, we now have the pistol used in the murder and the bullet found in the body. Detective. Yes, sir. Was the bullet found in the body fired from the pistol? Yes. The ballistic markings on the bullet match the pistol.
Hey, Nick. What does he mean, ballistic markings?
Shocking. Imagine someone here does not know something as basic as ballistic markings.
Well, yeah, it's the scrapes along the side of the bullet, yeah. Nick, he's glaring at me.
Very well, I will explain. Actually, Judge, you do it. Me? Ballistic markings are like the fingerprints of a gun. The barrel leaves distinctive marks on each bullet it fires. You can examine these ballistic fingerprints to see which gun fired the shot. It's quite accurate. Indeed. This leads to one inevitable conclusion. The bullet found in the victim's heart was without a doubt fired from this pistol. This pistol, which, as you may recall, was covered in the defendant's own fingerprints. Order! Order! This is bad. This makes it look like Edgeworth did it. Well, Judge, I'd say it's almost decisive, yes. Honestly, I could declare a verdict at this point. However, you wish to hear the witness speak, no doubt. Very well. I'm somewhat fatigued, and so I will take a brief break. I will call my witness after the recess, which will last 10 minutes. Judge! Yes! What are you doing? A 10-minute recess, now. But wait, Just bang your flimsy gavel and get on with it, man. Yes! I am. This court will take a 10-minute recess. Who's running this court anyway?
He's such a pushover for a judge. And a little bit gullible?
Yes. I mean, he's just like your kind of classic doddering old man, grandfather.
11:09 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. It's the 26th.
Edgeworth, what's going on here? Your fingerprints were on the murder weapon. And that foggy photo makes one thing clear. The only one who could have shot that man was the person in the photo. True. Was that you in the boat? Yes. It was me. What? But you must believe me, I didn't shoot him. Then who did? I don't know. You don't know? Weren't you right there? I heard a gunshot from very close by. Then the other man fell from the boat. Can't say why, but I thought at the time that he had shot himself. You mean it was a suicide? That's the only explanation I can come up with. Huh, I'm not gonna convince anyone of that. Say, Maya.
Huh? What?
Any progress with Mia?
Oh. Sorry, it's no good.
Ah.
I know. I'm no good for anything, am I, Nick? If I can't call my sister, I might as well not be here, right?
Nah, I need you here. No, of course not. I need you here. I can see you're always trying to help out, even if you don't actually help. It's the thought that counts, right?
It's okay, Nick. You don't have to make me feel better. I don't know anything about trials or defense. What's more, I'm a spirit medium who can't even contact spirits.
Aw, everyone has their off days. I mean, I've just been getting lucky lately, but you never know when my luck's gonna run out.
Really?
Whoa, right? Don't jinx this case any more than it already is. Bad for my heart. Sorry, whoops. Court is back in session. Mr. Von Karma, call your witness. Yes. Will Miss Lotta Hart take the stand? I'm having trouble with these voices right now.
Do you need water? I just that you've been...
I need hot chocolate or something.
Oh, because of your throat?
No, it's like nasal related. Lotta Hart, you are a research student at the university.
That I am.
Good. Begin by telling us what you saw the night of the incident, and don't add anything trivial or subjective. Understand?
You all need to learn some manners.
Understand?
Yeah, I understand.
Ah, very well. Your testimony, please.
I just need to get into my Buccaneer Sale voice. It's always interesting when you're putting on an accent, but in any case, it was Christmas Eve, just after midnight, I reckon. I was in my car. I heard this bang come up from the lake. When I looked out the window, I saw two gents in a boat. Then there was another bang. There wasn't nary a thing on the lake but that boat.
Enough.
Huh?
Judge, she happened to take a photo of the incident. This is that photo, accepted as evidence. Well, this is a surprise. This looks like a very moment of the murder. Order! I will remove people if from this courtroom if I do not have order immediately. As the witness testified, she looked at the lake when she heard the shot. There are no other boats on that lake. So the man in the boat with the victim must have been the one who shot him. Yes, it was the defendant, Miles Edgeworth. Order! 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 I will have order! Well, Judge, the evidence is decisive. I have very little doubt about this case.
No, you can't call it.
Very well, if this court finds the defendant...
Objection!
Wait, Your Honor! I haven't cross-examined the witness yet. A cross-examination? We have photographic proof. What question can there possibly be? This photo is worth 1,000 words, and they all read guilty. You lose. Or, do you claim to have found a contradiction in her testimony? Ah, very well. If you have to, you may cross-examine the witness. You will only flounder and ask meaningless questions. You will fail to find anything. And then, I will have you held in contempt of court.
Nick? Contempt?
Contempt of court, you know.
I guess I understand. Well, what are you going to do? Do you really think there was a contradiction with the facts in her testimony? I mean, I think there was. There has to be something about the two shots.
There wasn't. Her testimony is fine. The fault is actually in she told the truth. The thing is, reality, like, nobody's even thought about half this stuff. Honestly, I found nothing.
I don't know. You see, I think you're supposed to choose the other one.
Yeah, I guess so. It's one of those where it's the 3 shots versus the 2 shots versus...
Well, remember, they had to take a ballistics test, which means they had to fire the gun at least one more time.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know. I thought her testimony was strange. Because didn't she look up after the first shot, but then...
Yeah, so what was the first shot? And yeah, you're right.
She was so vague about everything.
I bet Von Karma probably fed her lines.
But if you don't cross-examine her, the judge will...
He'll bang down that flimsy gaffle of his and declare Edgeworth guilty.
I guess we'll just have to bluff it.
But if we mess up, contempt of court.
Hey, if we lose, we'll be held in public contempt.
Right. I understand. I will cross-examine the witness. Very well. I pray for your sake this isn't a waste of time.
So do you want me to read?
There's something about her face that bothers me. I think
her eyes are very wide apart.
Her eyes are very wide apart, and they look like they're staring in slightly different directions. So she looks kind of froggish. I guess especially because she has such a wide mouth, too.
Well, she has a wide mouth because the corners of the mouth still come up to a... No, actually, they're past the midpoint of her eyes. We're talking about, like, drawing technique and what you're supposed to do. So, yeah, they put a very wide mouth on her as well. Okay, so just after midnight.
Just after midnight, you say. In other words, it was no longer Christmas Eve, but Christmas Day.
Huh? Yeah. Well, yes.
I know you want to find contradictions, but really... I'm slowly moving his accent the wrong direction. I gotta go back to Pennsylvanian. Oh well. I hope your next contradiction is a little bit more relevant to the trial. Witness, continue your testimony.
She was in the car. Heard this bang.
So, you weren't looking at the lake at the time?
Nope. I looked after I heard that noise.
She said that already. I asked you to find contradictions, not leisurely chat with the witness. I guess I could try and make it more like the witness.
Okay.
Should I do that?
I don't know. Maybe. So the two gents on the boat.
Could you clearly see the two men?
Just look at the picture. Clear enough for you?
Uh-oh. Wait a second. I wasn't asking you about the photo. I was asking if you saw the two men.
Yeah, well, of course.
The witness has testified that she saw. No. I think trying to make it too much. She saw them. There's also a photo. You'd best look elsewhere for your precious contradictions. He jumped in quick. He's hiding something.
So if she looked up and saw them, she would have seen the second shot.
Yeah. There's another bang. Were you watching the very moment the shot rang out?
Well, yeah, sure.
You're asking meaningless questions. Meaningless! Contradictions, Mr. Wright, not meaningless babble. Von Karma, I think I hate you. He's trying to keep me from talking to the witness. To what end?
Wait, but the boat?
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, sure as a country gal can be.
That sounds pretty sure. How come you're so sure?
Well, heck, I scanned the whole lake.
Scan the whole lake. Almost sounds like she was interested in the lake. More interested in the lake than the boat. Miss Hart, you... Mr. Wright, the witness has answered the question in full. No need for further questions. Objection sustained. That's what I'm... Sustained? Yes, of course. Great. What am I supposed to do now? There weren't any contradictions in there.
Sorry, Nick. If only my sister were here.
Why is really taking this hard?
Wait, is there any evidence that you can bring out?
We got a couple of interesting things. Wait, did we press her on her being in her car?
No.
Why were you camping there anyway?
I'm a research student at my university. I was taking pictures to use for my research.
What research? This all sounds suspicious. Miss Hart, could you be more specific about your research?
But it's not relevant to the case, because he's just going to be like, no.
What does the witness's motive in camping by the lake have to do with the case? The answer is nothing. I object to this line of questioning. Objection sustained. Wait! Now I'm the one who says that! Well then say it already! Objection sustained. Thanks for nothing, Your Honor. Enough! I think we've all heard what we need to hear, Mr. Wright. Seems you are unable to find a contradiction in the testimony worth noting. But Your Honor... You keep your promise, Mr. Wright.
No.
I'm afraid I will have to penalize any further outbursts by holding you in contempt of court. And if that happens, you'll have to leave the courtroom immediately. Understood?
Nick!
One second.
Something wrong with your fingers?
Just a little uncomfortable.
Lotta's testimony is fishy, Nick. Real fishy.
I know what you mean, but if I can't say anything, what can I do? I believe we've covered the evidence sufficiently to make a decision. Then pass your judgment. Very well. Mr. Miles Edgeworth, please take the stand.
Hold it. Who?
Who is that?
Oh, so she was like, hold it.
Mm-hmm.
It was me.
Maya? Oops. Is something wrong? Do you need to use the facilities?
No, I do not. Lotta Hart, your testimony stinks. It's unclear whether you were actually looking at the lake. It's highly doubtful that you actually saw Mr. Edgeworth. Tell us the truth. This is a matter of life or death. Ugh! Lotta, did you really clearly see Mr. Edgeworth that night? Did you see him fire that pistol?
You will stand down! The court does not acknowledge the defense's outburst.
Answer me, Lotta! What's the big idea? Treat me like some kind of criminal. I saw him. I swear it. I saw Edgeworth.
Enough! Judge, declare the defense in contempt of court. Yes, of course. I'm sorry, but you were warned. Guard, escort Mr. Wright out of the courtroom. He's in contempt of court and must leave. No. Wait?
Yeah, I knew she was going to be the one to say that she was the one that did the outburst, that she should be taken out.
Mm-hmm.
I was the one who made the outburst, Your Honor. Nick is innocent.
Ha! What is the difference? All that remains is for the guilty verdict to be declared. Isn't that right, Mr. Phoenix Wright? I'm just gonna keep saving. If I remember right, this one gets dicey. Wrong. What? Did you hear what Miss Hart had just said? She said she clearly saw Mr. Edgeworth. That was not the testimony. That changes her testimony, and I have a right to cross-examine her again.
Mm-hmm.
Order! You're in contempt of court. It is too late for wild claims. Judge, sustain my objection. I'm sorry, Mr. Von Karma, but I cannot. What? Miss Lotta Hart has made a new testimony. The defense does have a right to cross-examine her again. But he is in contempt of court.
No, I am. If you're going to arrest someone, arrest me.
Very well. Maya Fey, you will leave the courtroom immediately.
Nick, I did what I could. You have to do the rest. Good luck.
Maya!